July 4th, 2026, Guangxi, China. Typhoon Maysak has made landfall along China's southern coast after crossing Hainan and moving through the Beibu Gulf, bringing powerful winds, torrential rainfall, and dangerous coastal conditions to Guangxi. Authorities activated emergency response plans, suspended marine activities, and urged residents in vulnerable areas to remain indoors or evacuate if instructed. Heavy rain increased the threat of flash floods and landslides, while rough seas and strong winds disrupted transportation and daily life. This report takes a closer look at the storm's path, its impact on Guangxi, and the emergency measures taken to protect millions of people living across southern China. Typhoon Maysak formed over the warm waters of the western Pacific Ocean, where favorable atmospheric conditions allowed the tropical system to organize and strengthen. Meteorologists closely monitored the storm using satellites, weather radar, and advanced forecasting models as it tracked steadily towards southern China. Forecast updates indicated that the cyclone had the potential to produce damaging winds, widespread rainfall, and dangerous coastal flooding.
这个人敢走啊？人敢走过去啊？我肚皮啊，啷个搞？这个台风天的西南浪家。
Prompting authorities to begin preparations several days before landfall. Before reaching Guangxi, Maysak crossed Hainan, where severe weather disrupted transportation across the island. Ferry services were suspended, numerous flights were canceled or delayed, and some railway operations were temporarily halted. Officials advised residents and visitors to avoid beaches and coastal waters because of dangerous waves, powerful currents, and the risk of storm surge. Fishing vessels returned to port, while harbor operations were restricted until weather conditions improved. After entering the Beibu Gulf, the storm moved toward Guangxi's coastline. Thick rain bands spread across the region, bringing hours of heavy rainfall and strong wind gusts. Visibility dropped significantly as rain intensified, making travel hazardous. Floodwaters began collecting on roads in low-lying areas, while emergency responders remained on standby to assist communities affected by rising water levels or storm-related damage. Authorities warned that flooding posed one of the greatest dangers associated with the storm. Continuous rainfall can quickly overwhelm drainage systems, causing streets, neighborhoods, and farmland to become submerged. In Guangxi's mountainous areas, prolonged rainfall also raised the threat of landslides. Once the ground becomes saturated, unstable hillsides may suddenly collapse, sending mud, rocks, and debris downhill with little warning. Emergency officials monitored these areas closely and advised residents in high-risk locations to move to safer ground whenever necessary. China's National Meteorological Center maintained typhoon alerts as the storm approached and continued issuing updated forecasts throughout the event. Local governments coordinated with emergency services to prepare shelters, inspect flood control systems, and position rescue teams where they might be needed. Construction sites secured loose equipment, utility companies prepared repair crews, and hospitals reviewed emergency procedures to ensure they could respond quickly if conditions worsened.
太可怕了吧！我的天！
哇，太恐怖了！哇，谁的车？这辆谁的车？
Weather information was shared continuously through television broadcasts, radio stations, mobile phone alerts, and online platforms. Residents were encouraged to stock drinking water, food, flashlights, batteries, and essential medicines before the worst weather arrived. Families secured windows and outdoor objects that could become airborne in strong winds, while many businesses temporarily closed until authorities declared conditions safe. Although destructive winds attracted much of the public's attention, meteorologists explained that heavy rainfall often causes the greatest damage during tropical cyclones. Rivers can rise rapidly after hours of continuous rain, while flooded roads may become impassable within minutes. Even areas located well away from the coastline can experience dangerous flooding after a storm moves inland.
不行，找个店，找个店。
Strong wind gusts damaged trees, scattered debris across roads, and affected power lines in some communities. Utility crews prepared to restore electricity as quickly as weather conditions allowed. Along the coast, rough seas continued to generate large waves long after the storm's center passed inland, delaying the return of fishing vessels and commercial shipping operations until conditions became safe.
牛波不牛波，家人们，牛波不牛波？淹死了！什么叫水蒸盖？这就叫水蒸盖啊！我的天哪，对面车都要报废哦！哦呦哦呦！
As Typhoon Maysak moved farther inland, it gradually weakened because tropical cyclones depend on warm ocean water for energy. However, officials emphasized that weakening winds did not immediately eliminate the threat. Heavy rainfall continued across parts of southern China, increasing the possibility of additional flooding, overflowing rivers, and landslides. Residents were urged to avoid flooded roads, remain alert for emergency announcements, and continue following official weather updates. Southern China experiences tropical cyclones almost every year, making preparation a critical part of disaster management. Advances in forecasting technology have significantly improved the accuracy of storm tracking, allowing emergency agencies to issue earlier warnings and organize evacuations before severe weather arrives. These improvements have helped reduce the loss of life during major storms, although powerful typhoons continue to cause significant damage to infrastructure, agriculture, and transportation.
进水啦！进水啦！
被哪子啊？拿到親咗10次喎，那拿我被啊！來，有幾大啦？幾大哦？拿到親咗10次啊！
能不能看到台風？看看，看看这个雨有多大？看那边，看那边。哇！
As weather conditions improved, recovery efforts began across the affected region. Emergency crews cleared fallen trees, removed debris from highways, inspected bridges and public buildings, restored damaged utilities, and reopened transportation routes where possible. Officials also continued monitoring rivers and unstable hillsides to ensure that lingering hazards did not create additional emergencies after the storm had weakened.